When I woke up this morning, I picked up this book by David White. It's called Consolations. And I opened to this chapter, little section, called Maturity. Now, my children would tell me, based on some well-founded fact and experience, that I'm not really the person to be talking about maturity, but I'm going to go for it anyway. Welcome to Finding God in the Times of COVID. It's October 20th. He says, maturity is the ability to live fully and equally in multiple contexts, most especially the ability, despite our grief and losses, to courageously inhabit the past, the present, and the future all at once. The wisdom that comes from maturity is recognized when a disciplined refusal to choose between or isolate three powerful dynamics that form human identity: what has happened, what is happening now, and what's about to occur. Immaturity is shown by making false choices, living only in the past, or only in the present, or only in the future, or even living only two out of the three. Maturity is not a static, arrived-at platform where life is viewed from a calm, untouched oasis of wisdom, but a living elemental frontier between what has happened, what is happening now, and the consequences of that past and present, first imagined and then lived into a waiting future. Maturity calls us to risk ourselves as much as immaturity, but for a bigger picture, a larger horizon, for a powerfully generous outward incarnation of our inward qualities, and not for gains that make us smaller, even in the winning. Immaturity always beckons, offering a false haven, an ersatz safety. And you probably know that word, but I didn't. Ersatz means a substitute safety. So immaturity always beckons, offering a false haven, an ersatz safety, in one state or the other, a hiding place and disappearance in the past, a false isolation in the present, or an unobtainable, sure prediction of the future. But maturity beckons also, asking us to be larger, more fluid, more elemental, less cornered, less unilateral. A living conversational intuition between the inherited story, the one we're privileged to inhabit, and the one, if we're large enough and broad enough, movable enough, and even here enough, just astonishingly about to occur. So let me ring a bell and lead us in a little meditation based on the reading. So we could take a few moments to settle into this moment. But perhaps it's not disconnected from the past. or from what's about to occur. And if what we've heard about maturity sheds some light, it's, of course, not about age or necessarily certain experience, but about perhaps integration. And so perhaps we hear this invitation. And might imagine ourselves just today being larger, more fluid, more elemental, less cornered, less unilateral. Paying attention to and being guided by our intuition. That's between the story we've inherited and the one we are all privileged to inherit. Somehow binding together and holding together all three things at once, if they're even distinct. The past, the present, and what's unfolding just now. Each step of our life. Blessings on your day.